Hey y'all, this is BC, and we are broadcasting live from the Hollywood Hills of fashionable Austin, Texas. This is BC TV Live, Conquer Lost Dreams. Conquer Lost Dreams. Before I talk about what I want to talk about today, I want to just help clarify something from last time. I gave you all a new hyphenated word last time, itchy pussy. ITCHI hyphen PUZI. And if you haven't watched that video yet, please go back and watch it. You will recall that the itchy pussy is a loose-fitting upper garment that has no snaps or buttons or sashes, and I told you that I had an itchy pussy and that I gave it to someone else. And that's what I want to talk about right now. It's pretty important because, you see, I got my itchy pussy from someone else. The idea is you pass along, you will receive you'll get an itchy pussy if you're lucky, and you'll have it for a while, and then you'll pass it on to someone else, and then they'll have it for a while, and then they'll pass it on to someone else. And the reason why I needed to clarify that is because, it's a cultural thing. Have you ever heard of the phrase, the gift that keeps on giving? Well, that all came from the itchy pussy phenomenon. When it hit the United States sometime after World War II. Sometime, after World War II and the Japanese were defeated, American servicemen were in Japan to help rebuild Japan after we destroyed it, and to ensure some stability in the area. Okay? And so that's how the Americans were able to get itchy pussies. Okay. Now, I told you that there will be a new word on every episode. And last time it was itchy pussy, and I'm glad we got all that cleared up. Now, today we have a new word of the day. It's called Williwa. It's WILLIWA. Williwa. Okay. Now, a Williwa is a sudden, violent gust of cold land air coming along mountainous coasts of high latitudes. Now that said high latitudes, not high altitudes. All right, so when we look at the globe here, these are high latitudes going up this way. These are low latitudes. So if we spin around over here in these coastal areas of high latitudes, that's where these Williwas are going to take place. All right. Now, there's a common word, or there's a common definition for Williwas, and that is a commotion, a ruckus, or hubbub. All right. So we're going to use the word Williwas in a minute, but I'm going to tell you all a little story because this is just something I remembered, and we are going to have stories from time to time, and I think this one's a pretty interesting one. Growing up in Texas, I'm going to share with you some of the peculiarities of my public education. We had in our high schools and our junior high schools, or what they call middle schools now, pretty much they all had indoor swimming pools. Okay? And in PE class, the phys ed class, every semester we would have swimming, both lessons, diving lessons, relay races, all of these kinds of things. Things that you would do in phys ed class, but you're doing it indoors in the pool. Okay. So starting in the 7th grade and all the way through the 12th grade, middle school through high school, I had swimming along with my 35 other classmates in that period. If we weren't swimming, if we were outside, we were doing track and field or a little tag football or basketball or calisthenics, that kind of thing. But for 6 weeks out of the semester, we had the pool. Now, here's where it gets kind of weird, and I really want to know what y'all think about this, because I have to say that we all knew this was coming, because, we heard it from our big brothers. And what it is that the boys, not the girls, but the boys had swim class naked. Okay? Now, it was an indoor pool. At one end of the pool was the girls' entrance to the pool, and at the other end of the pool is the boys' entrance to the pool. So we would all pile in the showers on the boys' side, naked, and take our showers and get wet for the pool the same way we would after being outdoors, but at the end of the period instead of the beginning. And at some point, the coach would show up and he would walk the length of the pool to the girls' end to make sure their door was locked so that the girls couldn't just pop in on us. And then we would file in to the pool area, and poolside, we would line up the same way we would line up outdoors. Maybe 6 lines across, 5 lines deep, or 6 lines deep. It depended on, really on how many people were in the class. And so now we are all wet and naked and lined up poolside. And then we would proceed to do our warm-up exercises poolside. This is sit-ups, push-ups, jumping jacks, squat thrusts, all those kinds of things that we would normally do outside as warm-up exercises, but we're doing them poolside and we're naked. Okay? So once that happened, then we would have whatever activities that were going to be happening in the pool. Maybe they would teach us certain strokes, and then we would be practicing these strokes. Sometimes we'd have relay races where a guy would put on a sweatshirt, and that's all he had on, and they used a sweatshirt because it was heavy. T-shirts are too light. They put on this sweatshirt, and the dude dives into the pool, swims all the way to the other end, then he takes this sweatshirt off and gives it to the guy at the other end, and he puts the sweatshirt on and swims to the other end, etc., back and forth. And there were relay races, and there were let's say 4 or 5 teams, okay, across the pool. And then, of course, we had diving lessons. And so we only had, we didn't have a low dive and a high dive. We had kind of a medium dive. Now, if instead of having a low dive, we would just dive from the edge of the pool. Okay? But when we were on the diving board, we were just there all by ourselves with the entire class watching us getting ready to dive naked. Now, this whole thing, and this was like gym class, and it was like 50 minutes or something like that. And then, when it was over with, the coach would blow his whistle, and we'd all pile out of the pool and go back in and take another shower to get the chlorine off of us. And, we'd rub ourselves off or whatever with a little soap. And the interesting thing was, now the girls, when they had swim class, they could wear swimsuits. The reason why is the administration felt that the girls would take care of their swimwear. And they felt the boys would just ball it up into the lockers and we'd all have jock itch, perpetual rash. So to solve that problem, boom, no swimsuits, okay? Now, remember today's word is Williwa. Williwa. And I'm going to use it this way. We all knew from our older brothers that we would be having swim class naked, grades 7 through 12. So what's all the Williwa? In other words, what's all the ruckus? What's all the hubbub? What's all the commotion? What's the big deal? We knew it was coming. Okay? And quite honestly, nobody thought it was weird. It's just the way it was, the way it had been, and the way it continued on until someone with half a brain decided that this is kind of weird. I'll tell you another thing that happened in gym class. We got pops. And that would be, if you did something that you shouldn't have done, you would have to go into the coach's office for pops. And the coach's office the window was all glass facing the locker room. And you would go in there and you would pull down your gym shorts if you were in regular outdoor class. If you were in swim class and you were getting pops, you just had to go in there naked and bend over and take it with something that looked like a fraternity paddle, except it had holes drilled in it so it could hit faster. Now, I'm just going to stop for a second now because something caught my eye here over by my bar. This, my friends, is called 20 Grand Gold. And this is a combination of cognac and vodka. And let me tell you something. This stuff burns like fire, but I'm telling you, it will knock you on your tail. And because I'm a sophisticated redneck Texan, I drink mine out of a snifter. And I will be, from time to time, promoting products that are some of my favorite things. And this 20 Grand Gold is one of my favorite things. And I wish I had this before swim class in junior high because it would have made it a whole lot easier. If you want to get some 20 Grand Gold, when you go in the liquor store, it's not in the vodka section, it's in the cognac section. So, cheers. I'm just going to take a little sip of this. Absolutely delicious. Totally recommend it. Not outrageously expensive at all. So, we today, just to rehash, we clarified the itchy pussy as the gift that keeps on giving. We have a new word of the day, Williwa. Sometimes you could say Williwas, if it's a big commotion. And I told you a little story about my junior high and high school. And by the way, this was district-wide. This was a reasonably large, a very large school district in Texas. You can probably figure it out if you know your geography. And pretty much all the junior highs and high schools had pools. This was a rich school district. And they, in Texas, Yeehaw! If you got money, burn it. So there are going to be more stories and more topical items. I'm sorry I kept railing on Prince Charles for more than one episode, but that's behind us now. We're going to look for someone else to put on the grill. Or we're just going to be playful and have fun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what next time's the word of the day is for next time. It's raconteur. And I am a raconteur. A raconteur, RACONTEUR. R-A-C, I didn't write it down. RACONTEUR. Raconteur. A raconteur is nothing more than a storyteller. And I told you all a story today, and there'll be more stories coming up. Please, let's get out of Studio B- and try to get to Studio A. All that means is you're going to subscribe to me. You're going to hit the like button even if you don't like it. Please, and hit that notification ding dong so that when I do post a new video, you can jump right on in there. Okay? So, my friends, this is BC. You've been watching BC TV Live. The channel is Conquer Lost Dreams. And we're done for tonight. Bye.